It's our reality, just your average family, trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? Today we got Thurman's Season 4, Episode 2, Smells Like Team Spirit. This episode starts off in Max's lair, where we see that Max has traded out his Dark Mayhem I Want You poster for a Z-Force poster, showing off his transition from good to evil. That's interesting. I would have never guessed that. I would have never thought that, but actually I would have never noticed that. But I'm glad they showed that Max has been switched over to good. He's now taken out his Dark Mayhem poster and replaced it with the Z-Force poster, because that's his main objective for this season, to get into the Z-Force. So, it's kind of cool. Max is sleeping when he's awoken by Phoebe. Colosso says, "Shake it off, Max, it's just Phoebe." And Colosso says, and Max says, she's already found she's actually found that more annoying than her voice. Symbols. Phoebe says, "It's patrol time, teammate. They're gonna get the most elite superhero. If they're gonna join the most elite super group in the world. And the Z-Force does not sleep in." Max says, "It's 4 a.m. And Phoebe's like, she knows he's half an hour late. Did he even notice the schedule she gave him, which is literally just a standee of herself with a schedule, which is kind of funny. Literally, the schedule is just literally just a standee version of herself next to a schedule of Max, what Max has to do. That's Phoebe for you. Max says, her schedule is insane. She only gave him one bathroom break a day. And Phoebe says, exactly. Here is his diaper. See him upstairs. Max says, right behind your partner, Colosso. He knows what to do. Colosso says, help Max with his diaper? And Max says, no, snooze time. So Colosso presses a button which locks every door and every window and door in the lair, so Max can go back to sleep. They say, Max says good night, and Colosso says, good night, sweet prince. And Max is like, don't be weird. Wait, no, don't be creepy. Wait, no, he says, stop being creepy. Then the next day, at the Thunder House, Max says, he's sorry, Phoebe. The lair got locked down and he was forced to go back to sleep for 3 hours. Phoebe says, that was yesterday. And Max says, no wonder he feels so refreshed. Time for breakfast. Phoebe says, Max, the schedule clearly states that they're brunch people now. 2 meals a day is more efficient equals 2 meals in one efficiency. Efficiency equals Z-Force. Max says he wants to get into Z-Force too, but the answer is not brunch and diapers, although they're surprisingly comfy. Phoebe says, well, okay, what is he doing to help their team, huh? She bets he didn't even buy the training equipment they saved for. Max says, see, that's where she's wrong. Phoebe says, he bought them? And Max says, nah. He felt like saying she was wrong. He was just just felt good saying she was wrong. Man, I love Max. He's the best. Phoebe says she bought. Phoebe says, come on, their Z-Force training Z-Force is tracking their performance in training. On flour sack punching doesn't actually look good. Hank shows up saying, he has flour in bad places. Phoebe says, that didn't happen during training. She doesn't know why he's covered in flour. And we'll never know why he's covered in flour. That's the last scene we see Hank in when he's covered in flour. So we'll never know. Did they just have Chris Tallman douse himself in flour just to show up for the scene? Max says, because that's weird. Max says, relax, Phoebe. He didn't get the training equipment because he bought something else that's guaranteed to get them Z-Force into the Z-Force. He got them their own team headquarters. Cut to them in a treehouse. Max says, he got them their own team headquarters. Phoebe says, trust Max. Treehouses are for kids. Phoebe says, Max spent all their training equipment money on a treehouse. Max says, Phoebe, treehouses are for kids. This is a tree fort. Phoebe says, Max, they don't need this thing. Our house is all like a giant headquarters with free Wi-Fi. Max says, but the tree fort is aerial surveillance. Views in his private. And wait, Hank and Barb don't charge her for Wi-Fi? Yeah, there's this weird Wi-Fi joke in this episode that just doesn't come back. He says, okay, Max, he can't just use their money to buy a headquarters without asking her. Max says, well, she can't schedule every second of his life. He needs sleep, and all of this doesn't just happen, you know. Phoebe says, oh no, she just realized something. They make a terrible team. But in other episodes of this series, they were shown that they do pretty well together. I guess we just need a plot. Be like, they don't actually work good together. Even though in other episodes, even in last season's finale, they were able to defend themselves against Dark Mayhem together. But this episode's just like, we need some conflict. Let's say they never worked together. Max says, that's not true. If it were, why would he give her his last yogurt stick? Phoebe says, thanks. Then she says, oh, what flavor is this? And Max says, expired. She's right, they do make a terrible team. After the opening, in the A-plot, Phoebe says, yeah, this is the first A-plot of the season. This is the first A and B plot of the season. And this is kind of funny that episode 2 of season 1 was the first A plot, and this is the first A plot of season 4. So Max says, so today revealed the team has a few wrinkles to iron out. Max says, a few? Their team has more wrinkles than the old lady in a tanning salon. Worst summer job ever. Phoebe says, but joining the Z-Force has been a dream of hers. Since when? We just learned about the Z-Force like last episode. When has this been your dream? If this has been your dream, you would have said, oh, my dream is to join the Z-Force. But no, since we just learned about the Z-Force in the last episode, this has apparently been her lifelong dream? Yeah, right. We just learned about this group in the last episode. Why has this been your dream? And if this has been her so-called dream, being the Z-Force has been her so-called dream. And if being his partner is the only way to make that happen, she'll do anything to make it work. Max says, him too, unless it means doing things for her, with her, or near her. Phoebe says, pretty sure that's the attitude that got him fired from Tanny Granny. Oh, they're officially hopeless. Hank says, have no fear, Thunderman is here. And Barb said, when there's thunder, there's electricity. And Hank said, and Max is like, guys, why are you in your super suits? Hank says, Hank says they suited up because they're about to save them from blowing their chances at the Z4. Barb says, and it's Laundry J. Now his life mates and partner and superhero partner, they know all about building a successful team. Hank says, in fact, they put out a self-help book in the 90s called Smells Like Teen Spirit. And Phoebe says, how comes they've never heard of it? So Hank pulls out what the book cover looks like, and Max and Phoebe just laugh. So Barb's like, yeah, that's what them laughing is why they've never shown them this before. Hank says, so what do they say? Let them help them become the best superhero team they know they can be. Phoebe says, I mean, hey, if it'll help their chances of getting in the Z4, it'll be worth a shot. Max says he agrees. Just not going to be reading a book. Barb says, good thing comes with an instructional video. I don't know where she pulled that out of her butt or her pocket, but she just pulls it out of her super suit. How long has it been in there? I don't know. But she said, good, it comes with an instructional video. Max says, please tell him there's room in her schedule to make fun of Hank and Barb. Phoebe says he's gonna have to skip brushing his teeth, but they can make it work. Then the B plot, Colosso is grossed out because are they expecting to eat the slop? Chloe says she doesn't cook it, she just dumps it. And Colosso says, ugh, back when Max was evil, he used to steal fresh vegetables from all the neighbors' gardens. Nora says, well, Max is good now, and no one's stealing vegetables from him, so let's just eat his canned succotash. Colosso says, you know what? You all succotash. And Billy comes in saying, hey guys, tell him if he can hit the table. And Chloe says, you hit the table. See? They knew they made a right choice by making Chloe now a main character. She's funny. Actually, she's always been funny, but still. Nora asks Billy why isn't he using his new backpack, and Billy says, he's a nice kid. Wait, no. Says, a nice kid at school borrowed it, along with his lunch money and math homework. Nora says, that's not good. And Colosso says, yeah, especially for the poor kid who stole his math homework. And Phoebe says, and Nora says, no, it's not good that Billy's so gullible. Billy says, what's gullible? And Nora says, raccoon in shorts. And Billy says, get it out. And Nora says, that's gullible. It means he's easily tricked. Billy says, he's not. And Chloe says, the raccoon is back, causing Billy to speed away. And Nora looks at Chloe being like, girl, why'd you do that? And Chloe says, you're not the... So you can be the only one to do it? And Chloe says, so it's funny when Nora does it. And they leave. Colosso says, well, it seems like Gullibilly might be his ticket to VeggieTown. This food is all suck and no tash. Meanwhile, in the A plot, Meanwhile, in the A plot, they watch the team. Hank says, now that they've watched the team building exercise, critics called a superpowered joyride. Nora says, Phoebe says, that quote's from Hank. That's quotes from you, Hank. From you. And Hank says, the point is, yeah, it's kind of funny that literally Hank had to write his own quotes in. That dude is such an egotistical man. The point is, they're now ready for team building exercises. Barb says, anytime that you're a bad teammate, Nora will zap you. Nora lasers them, saying that she could tell they weren't thinking about the team. Yeah, this is whole Nora's in both the A plot and B plot, and this is all Nora amounts to in the A plot. She's more prominent in the B plot, but at the end, It's kind of funny when one character appears in both plots. Hank says, now the first exercise will be played the art in partner. And Max says, this puts the stupid in stupid. Barb says, now they'll have to take turns painting. A beautiful piece of art representing the team. Phoebe says she'll go first, but Max says, Phoebe, allow him. Allow him. She has the art skills of a howler monkey. Yeah, I kind of agree with Max there. Knowing how Phoebe was terrible at art, like we know Phoebe was terrible at art. We literally had a whole episode in season 2 called Change of Art, which showed that Phoebe was terrible at it. And that's why the family hid all their painting supplies from her, knowing that she couldn't do a terrible job. So I don't know why she's trying now. Literally, there was a whole episode in season 2 about her being a terrible artist. Literally, the whole family had to hide art supplies from her, knowing how bad she is. But now she wants to try and thinks she can do a good job. Phoebe, you're just don't, Phoebe. Max is right. She does have terrible art, because literally we had a whole episode in season 2 about it. Max says, wow, Max is remarkably good at it, but it's her turn. Max says, he's on a roll. Phoebe says, come on, Max, it's her turn. Max says, and done. Now that says team. And literally, it's the background image of this scene. I found this scene so funny, I made the background image of this video where Max paints himself. Because there's no him in Teen. Phoebe says he painted his face, and Max says, well, you can't spell team without me. And that's where we get the background, the funny image of this video from. I could have chose any image from this video. I just found this I could have chosen any scene from this for this episode's background image. But I just found this so funny that I had to choose it. It doesn't have nothing to do with the episode. Actually, it does, but it's just so. Max drawing himself is so funny. Then Nora lasers him because saying, this is better than free Wi-Fi. Because they really want to get this Wi-Fi joke to be funny, which it's not. Cut to Hank saying, when it comes to the team, the word mine should be avoided. Which means that's why they're turning their driveway into a minefield. Phoebe says, nice wordplay, Hank. Nice wordplay. Hank says, also, won't they blow up? Barb says, no, these are smoke mines. They're perfectly safe. But then Barb and Nora just put on goggles. Okay, we saw Hank's on the fence, but where did Nora and Barb get theirs from? Barb probably pulled them out of her pocket the same way out of her super suit, the same way she pulled out that DVD. It still doesn't make any sense how she pulled a DVD out of her pocket. Out of her super suit. Also, where did Nora get hers from? She just pulls it out of her. She just grabs hers out of the blue. Maybe she grabbed hers from the Matrix or something, because we didn't see them have goggles before. At least Hank's was on the fence, which makes a lot of sense. But Barb and Nora's, they were not anywhere near them, so I don't know where they got theirs from. Hank says, "Look, 2 seconds peek at the map of where the mines are located. Then they'll work together to avoid them. Good luck, team." Phoebe says, which is a good reference where Phoebe says she has a photographic memory. Follow her lead. Max says, okay, Phoebe, he can help. Phoebe says she's not gonna listen to the guy who forgot her birthday. Max says he didn't forget. He chose to ignore it. But they have the same birthday. What? how can he choose to ignore her birthday when their birthday? How can he choose to ignore her birthday when they have the same birthday? I get it. This is supposed to be funny that Max forgot her birthday, but it's kind of like, how did he even forget her birthday? They literally were born on the same day. They have the same birthday. This joke isn't funny because it doesn't make any sense. Show why. We've seen in episodes like season 1's Have a Nice Birthday, which is, wow, I'm referencing a lot of episodes from the past in this final season video. But, yeah. We've seen episodes from the past where the main character were in Have a Nice Birthday. Phoebe and Max celebrated their birthday at Wong's Pizza Palace. But here, Max saying that he chose to ignore her birthday just shows that maybe the writers didn't just went with the joke without realizing, oh hey, how can Max choose to ignore a birthday that literally is on his birthday? Phoebe says, okay, and she chose to ignore him. So they get blasted by gas for stepping on the wrong tile. Max says, Zapper Nora, and Nora lasers Phoebe. And Nora lasers Phoebe, and Max says, nice shot. So Nora lasers Max too because she doesn't like kiss-ups. Meanwhile, on the B-plot, Billy says, trail of candy leading straight to Colosso. Colosso says, oh, Billy, he's so glad he fell for it. He's sorry. It's just that he planted vegetables in their neighbor's garden, but he's no way of getting them. Billy says he hates to see Colosso like this, so he's going upstairs. Okay, the one time Billy actually made me laugh. Billy says, if he only knew a person that was a kind heart and a super speed who could help. Billy says, he has a kind heart and super speed. He can help. Colosso says, really? Billy says, hero. Billy says, wish Nora heard him say that. Can he believe that she thinks he's gullible? Colosso says, Billy, you gullible? Never. Now, here's the addresses of all the gardens where he planted his vegetable. Billy says, wait a minute. That's how you spell Hiddenville? Colosso, you should just get someone else. Billy's too dumb. Colosso says, and Billy leaves. Colosso says, it's almost too easy. Meanwhile, on the A plot, Barb says, welcome to telekinesis trust fall. Or telekinetic trust fall. Barb says, Hank says, teammates need their always end up in the always have to have each other's backs. And if not, they'll end up in a serious jam. And Barb says, gay, because this pit's filled with jam. And Phoebe says, they get it, you guys rolled. Or did she say old? I don't get, they're old. Or rolled. I'm just gonna say she says rolled. I don't know. Barb says, in this test, these thunderballs, which sound very weird to say, can swing down and knock them off their platform at any moment. Hank says, so be ready to use their powers to catch each other midair, or they could end up in a real pickle. Barb says, Hank, pickleball. Hank, pickle tosses later. We never actually see pickle toss, by the way, but still. Phoebe tells Max to keep his arms in front of him. It'll quicken his reaction time. Max says, he's just stretching. Stop being a control freak. Phoebe says she's not a control freak. Now do exactly as she said. Max says, all right, because she's the boss of him. Oops, 3 o'clock. He missed his bathroom break. Phoebe says, first of all, his bathroom break is at 4. And she cares about the team. All he cares about is himself. Max says he cares about this team, especially his half of it. Phoebe says, oh, she means the half that didn't ask her before buying a rat-infested treehouse. Max says, they're not rats, they're termites. Hank tells him to stay focused, but Phoebe says, Max, face it, Max, the real reason they don't make a good team is because let's face it, face it, Max, he's the reason they don't make a good team. Max says, oh, really? Because he thinks it's her. Put that in her diaper and wear it. Then Thunderball knocks them into the jam pit. Hank says, you guys okay? Phoebe says, oh, this next time Mira realized something. She's never wanting to be part of Max again. Max says, yeah, this team's done. Nora says, she'd zap them, she'd laser them, but they already lasered themselves. Huh, what the heck? And lasers them again. Lasers them anyway. Nora's just literally just doing this for the fun of it now. Meanwhile, after that, Hank says, oh, Phoebe, she's wearing her super suit. Does that mean she's made up with Max? Does that mean she and Max made up? Phoebe said she decided that Z-Force is more important than a silly fight. So she figured out a way to work with Max. Barb says they're so proud of her. Then Phoebe brings in a mannequin of Max, saying that she's replaced Max with a dummy that looks like Max. Barb says, did Phoebe hit her head on the jam pit? Phoebe says, no, but with the Z-Force watching. With the Z-Force watching, she needs to make it look like she and Max is still her partner. Hank says, so she's gonna like a dummy around all over town. Phoebe says, yeah, nothing's changed. Oh boy, do I not really. Phoebe's the worst. Oh man, do I not like her in this scene. Anyway, that's my own opinion. I wrote that. I do not like Phoebe in the scene. She comes off as too unlikable. She literally says that that nothing's changed, like, because she's lugging a dummy all over town, and she's been lugging Max over town. That is terrible. That is terrible. She's the worst. I think Phoebe is literally the worst in this episode. Who knew I could not like her even less than I already do? I like her fine, but this episode's really making me reconsider my thoughts on her character. In this episode. In other episodes, I don't know how I feel, but in this other episodes this season, I don't know how I'll feel, but for this one, man, is she the worst. Phoebe says, plus, this dummy doesn't do selfish things like buy useless tree for. Max says, actually, it's called an air layer now. Good looking mannequin. Phoebe says, come on, new Max. They've got a city to save. Then his head falls off, and she takes a headless mannequin to save the city. Just do not like her. Wow. Just do not like her. Phoebe is terrible person. She's willing to cost 1,000 lives. She's willing to damage. She could probably damage the entire town just to prove that she doesn't need Max. I know she's a capable superhero, but the fact that she's gonna be lugging around a mannequin the whole time, that could distract her from saving the city. We never see what she actually does. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, Phoebe probably cost $1 billion in damages. And Phoebe says, still a better partner, and leaves. Hank says, Phoebe, Max, follow her and end this silly fight. Max says, no way. That control freak called him selfish. Barb asks him, why is he holding their microwave? Max says, he's taking it to his air layer. They got to buy a new one. See, not selfish. And Hank says, he had a burrito in that microwave. Meanwhile, in the beef plot, Billy speeds in with Colossus vegetables. Colossus says, "That's some sweet corn on the cob. Put it with the stash." Billy says, Dr. Colosso. Colossus says, they're friends now, Billy. Call him Uncle Dr. Colosso. Billy says there's one thing he's confused about. Colosso says, one thing? Go on. And Billy says, why is Colosso planting all these vegetables in other people's gardens? Colosso said, Billy, farmers are like magicians. They never reveal their secrets. And they're always slightly creepy. Billy says he has so much to learn from him, and Colosso says, but he's already so smart, which is why he needs him to harvest 20 pounds of potato. He points at the supermarket. Billy says, coming right up, and Colosso says, thanks, Gullah Billy. Billy says, what did he say? And Colosso says, he said Billy's like a son to him. And Billy says, that's nice. Colosso's like a moon to him, too. That doesn't even make any sense. But still, Colosso says, just please go. And Billy speeds off. Nora says, Billy, she and Chloe have been looking all over for him. Someone's been stealing vegetables from the gardens in the neighborhood. Billy says, what? As a new neighbor of the farming community, that makes him sick. Nora says, does the veggie bandit look familiar? Billy says, no, but she's kind of cute. And Chloe says, she's kind of you. And Billy says, what? That's crazy. If they'll excuse him, he has to pick up some potatoes Colosso planted at the supermarket. Nora says, Billy, people don't plant stuff at supermarkets. Dr. Colosso is duping you into stealing vegetables from him. Billy says, oh no, that cute girl is him? That means he is gullible. Nora says, no, he's a nice person who trusts people. But, Nora, you literally just told Billy, like, scenes ago that he was being gullible. But now that Billy finally admits it, you tell him no? Okay. I don't get your logic, Nora. But you just told Billy before that he was being gullible for giving that kid all of his homework and lunch money and backpack. But now you're saying he's not gullible anymore. Dr. Colosso is the problem here, which is why they're going to teach that evil bunny a lesson. Billy says, good thing he'll help. Right after he gets potatoes, and Billy speeds off. Chloe says, I'll get him, and speeds off. And says, I'll get him, and teleports away. Meanwhile, in the A-plot, Phoebe's having a tug of war with a dog over the Max mannequin. And she loses it to a dog and tells the dog to keep it because he's as useless as the real Max. Again, I don't like Phoebe. Barb says, Phoebe, it's time to stop and collaborate and listen. Phoebe says, wow, is this an 80s thing? Is this a 90s day where parents say, Hank says, they broke into their old Team Spirit outfits and somehow got their hair somehow Hank got his hair back to that. Unless that's a wig. Don't know how Hank and Barb were able to get their hairs back to 90s looking hair. Maybe they're wigs. Or maybe they cut their hair to look like that. Maybe Barb did. Maybe Hank's is a wig. I don't know. Hank says they broke out their old Spirit uniforms to help her and Matt. Barb says they're too legit to quit. Phoebe says, alright, talk normal or I walk. Hank says, fine, let's make some Sundays and figure out a way for her and Max to be all that and a bag of chips. He's sorry. Phoebe says they should be talking to Max about this. He's the one who's straight up bugging. No, she's doing it. Barb says there's nothing she can do to make herself a better teammate. Phoebe says no, Oh, Hank, he's got fudge all over. Fudge to ice cream ratio is a mess. Hank says, hey, this is mine. And Phoebe says, okay, let her fix it, alright? Efficiency equals deliciousness. Hank says, check yourself before you wreck yourself, Phoebe! And he flies away. Phoebe says, that was strange. What was that about? And Barb says, Phoebe, there are some reasons that says Phoebe. Well, Phoebe means well, but she can be a tad controlling, like taking the sprinkles off her ice cream right now. Phoebe says, okay, Barb can't just mix rainbow and chocolate sprinkles because, maybe she is controlling. And I guess she should probably apologize to Max for being a bad teammate. And Phoebe leaves. Barb tells Hank that Phoebe's gone, so he comes back in. So Hank says he got ceiling chips in his ice in his sundae, but he still eats it. Ew. In the tree fort, Max says Phoebe's crazy. This air layer is great, and so is Hank's burrito. He found. Can't stop winning. Phoebe says, hey Max, win streak over. What are you doing here, Phoebe? His guard owl was supposed to warn him about intruders. Too late, Desmond. Phoebe says, Max, she came here to apologize for being controlling. She just wanted their team to work. But she promises from here on out, no more schedules, no more sneaking vitamins into his pizza. That is messed up. That is messed up. And Max says, Phoebe is messed up. Sneaking vitamins to your brother's pizza, that is just messed up. Max says, no wonder he has great teeth and bones. No wonder he was getting strong teeth and bones. Phoebe says, the point is, she's sorry, Max. She's sorry. Max says, he's sorry. Sorry as his sister who thinks he's selfish and can't respect his pizza boundary. Phoebe says, are you kidding me? He is selfish. Look at this trash can on stilts. Max says, it's called an air layer. And then he stomps on the ground, causing the tree fort to shake. Then Phoebe's like, what's going on? And Max says, the owl hooted 3 times. Justin, didn't you hear his guard owl? They're at 3 hoots. This place is falling apart. Go, go, go. Phoebe says, that crash she heard was the sound of his ladder breaking, which means they have no way down, unless he has a parachute. Max says, why didn't you tell him that when he bought it? And Phoebe says, he didn't tell her he was buying it. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Colosso sings, oh, Colossal had a farm, thanks to Gala Billy. Then Billy says to show up singing Colosso. Some police officers accuse him of stealing the vegetables from around the neighborhood. Colosso says, oh, cops? I mean, what did Billy tell the nice officers? And Billy says, he told the truth. The Colosso told him to take all the veggies. Colosso says, you rat, you let them right to him. Nora says, Colosso, the cops are coming. Colosso says, Johnny Law will never get him. Adios, losers. And he ejects himself, and he presses the eject button, ejecting himself from his cage. And it caused him to bonk his head and saying, is he in Albuquerque? Nora says, why don't you ask the sheriff? Then Chloe teleports in a police outfit saying, you're under arrest, baby. Colosso says, what's with the kindergarten cop? And Nora says, this is all planned. They set him up to teach him a lesson teach him not to trick Billy. Billy says, enjoy your dinner, Uncle Gullible. And Colosso says, looks like I stuck a tag. Ending the B plot. Colosso doesn't get in trouble for what he did. We don't know if he ever got arrested. And I guess he did get in trouble by being forced to go back to eating succotash. But, yeah. Meanwhile, in the A plot, the air layer tree fort is falling apart. Phoebe says, this is horrible. Max says, no, it's burrito. And Phoebe says, forget about his burrito. They're next. Max says, sorry, Phoebe. He was worried about this whole time. The whole tree fort. it's a mistake. He shouldn't have been so selfish. Phoebe says, apologize later. This thing's going down. Max says they gotta jump, and they fall. But they use their telekinesis to stop themselves from falling. Phoebe says, why are they yelling? And Max says, he doesn't know. Let's get down. And they help each other up, stopping their telekinesis. Phoebe says they just pulled off a telekinetic trust fall. Max says, he knows. They actually had each other's back. Phoebe says, you smell that? And Max says, Phoebe, you smell that? And Phoebe says, she sure does. Smells like team spirit. And Max says, he was going to say it smells like a dead squirrel burrito, but they actually do make a good team. Phoebe says, which means their C4 streams are still alive. Max says, and with a couple of nails, their headquarters will be good as new. But their trade force falls behind them, and Max says, who needs a trade for it? Phoebe says, not them, and that's where we end the episode. So yeah, that was Smells Like Team Spirit. And it was a really good episode. And again, Max was amazing. I really didn't like Phoebe in this episode. I think it may be one of the first episodes that I actually don't like Phoebe. I just don't. I do like her sometimes, and the fact is that she thought she'd be a great artist when literally we had a whole episode in season 2 where she was a terrible artist, and literally everyone hided her artistry from her so she wouldn't be able to art again is insane. But yeah. Next we got Max to the Future, which is about Max trying to protect future crime sprees, so he can learn how to stop them. And it also features a B plot about Hank, ever since being exposed. It goes back to them being exposed storyline. Even though I thought everyone forgot that, but they were trying to say they didn't know. Where Hank's in competition of Rico with a guy named Nico who thinks Hank is using his Thunderman identity to steal bowling to be a good bowling ball player. But again, I thought they had that. I thought everyone now thought they weren't heroes anymore. But now they're going back to, but this Nico guy does? Okay. I guess the writers are trying to contradict themselves by saying, Nico knows. Nico is saying that Hank is using his Thunderman identity as a way to win bowling matches. So yeah, next episode we go back to the being exposed plotline that we had in the premiere. But again, I thought how everyone forgot about that, but for some reason, I guess they either dropped that or said Nico was the only one who remembered. Who knows? But that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for episode 3, Max to the Future. Which, yeah, and also Barb was funny in this one. I actually liked her. Rosa Blasi was having fun being in this episode. So yeah, and Chloe was obviously all great. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for more Thundermans.